Please be advised that this video is for the sole purpose of entertainment. Any views are purely my own, are subjective and may not necessarily be true. I do, however, do extensive research for all of my videos. All photos have been found on the public domain. I am using them under the fair use and fair dealing guidelines. I urge everybody to do their own research. Well, hello, it's Murky Meg here. It's Thursday the 9th of July, and in a very bizarre twist to the Mail on Sunday versus Meghan Markle court case, documents have been filed and the Duchess of Sussex, i.e. Meghan Markle, has said in a witness statement to the court that the Mail on Sunday is trying to create a circus with their real lives. Now, she has asked for an injunction not to name the 5 people that spoke to People magazine. In this injunction request, she has said these 5 women are not on trial, nor am I. Well, we know now that it's 5 women, so let's discount Marcus Anderson and the sobbing makeup artist Daniel Martin. Let's put them on the very back burner because we know that they aren't female. So it's definitely 5 women that have spoken to People magazine. Meghan has filed a witness statement to the High Court requesting the order from the judge. She says each of these women is a private citizen, young mother, and each has a basic right to privacy. The 5 names are in confidential section of her privacy claim against the paper, and she claims that the Mail on Sunday, she's accused them of a vicious attempt to name 5 friends who gave an anonymous interview in her favour, saying it poses a threat to their mental health for clickbait. Now, the Mail on Sunday have hit back and said it had absolutely no intention of publishing the identities of the friends this weekend, but had informed the Duchess's lawyers that they wanted the question of their anonymity properly considered by the court. Their evidence is at the heart of the case, and we see no reason why their identities should be kept secret, the Mail on Sunday said. Now, Meghan's lawyers have clapped back and said in a witness statement submitted to the court, they accused the associated newspapers, i.e. Daily Mail and the Mail on Sunday, of threatening to publish the names of the 5 women, 5 private citizens, who made a choice on their own to speak anonymously with the People magazine. And like I said earlier, the Mail on Sunday associated newspapers deny that they were going to release these 5 names. Meghan's lawyers accused the Mail on Sunday of playing a media game with real lives. They have respectfully asked the court to treat this legal matter with the sensitivity it deserves and to prevent the publisher of the Mail on Sunday from breaking precedent and abusing the legal process by identifying these anonymous individuals, a privilege that these newspapers in fact rely upon to protect their own unnamed sources. Interestingly enough, that the witness statements list the Duchess of Sussex, i.e. Meghan, at the address of Frogmore Cottage. And it also, as with most injunctions and court papers, confirms that she understands proceedings for contempt of court may be brought if it is false. That's a really bizarre turn of events. She's using Frogmore Cottage as her address when she doesn't actually live there. So does that actually mean that they are still living at Frogmore Cottage even though they're not living at Frogmore Cottage? And is that legal to say you're living at Frogmore Cottage when in fact you're not living at Frogmore Cottage? You're staying in LA at somebody else's mansion. That's a really bizarre twist, isn't it? In these documents, it refers to the 5 friends as confidants, and they all have small children who would be deeply affected by the unwelcome presence of reporters, photographers in their homes and in the public, and the effect of this would have on their parents. She's throwing all angles at this court case. But the problem is that if these people didn't want that intrusion in their lives, why on earth did they speak to People magazine? You open up that big can of worms, you're going to be expected to be wriggled on. The documents also state that the interest in the case and in the media and on social media is huge, and it claims that it has already had a significant impact on the private lives of one of the 5 friends and promoted a guessing game as to their identities. Come on, what did they expect? 5 anonymous friends speak to a very big magazine about one of the most talked about women in the world right now, And yet they all expect that nobody's going to wonder who spoke to them. That's just laughable, really, isn't it? It's a farce. Now, remember when Jessica Mulrooney tried to intervene in a story and to word it and make it change so it was a more positive light towards Meghan Markle? That's what she's been implied. This bit is hilarious because in particular, in one of the notes, it says, "I am concerned that the publicity will intimidate one or more of the 5 friends and dissuade them from agreeing to give evidence in support of the claimant in the case of the trial." So in other words, if more people talk about who these 5 friends are, the prosecution feel that they will be intimidated to not take part in the court case. Well, I actually think that's completely the opposite, because I'm hoping that the Mail on Sunday really do want these 5 friends to come forward, because that will be an even bigger story, and it will in fact make sure that there is an understanding whether or not Meghan knew that the 5 friends were going to talk to people. There lies the crux of the case. If she knew that they were going to talk, the case falls apart. Isn't this a very clever caveat to maybe say press intrusion and public scrutiny and intrusion was a reason why one or maybe more of her friends refused to testify, ergo not revealing that she in fact knew about her friends speaking to People magazine prior to it happening. And in fact, if they knew that she knew that they were going to speak, it's a clever way of making them seem like they don't want to speak because of the press intrusion, when in fact Meghan doesn't want them to speak because she knew that they were going to speak. I know it's a twisted tale and I know it's quite strange to get your head around, but simple fact is it's an easy escape route for one or more of the 5 friends to say, do you know what, I'm not going to testify because my privacy has been invaded, when in fact it would be easy for them to just do that to get out of saying, well, she knew about it, she knew that we were going to speak, she gave the letter to them, they must have known about its existence, how else would they have known? Simple fact of the matter is, if these 5 friends had not have referred to the letter in the first place to People magazine, Thomas Markle would not have given it to the Mail on Sunday. It's as simple as that. That's what it boils down to. But they did, so he did. Whether or not that was breaching her privacy is for the court to decide. But by naming these 5 people or asking for them not to be named, it's bonkers, really. This in itself is causing a circus even more because it's getting her in the media. And it's also exaggerating the victim status to all those 5 other women, isn't it? So she's a victim and they're all a victim. Everybody's a victim. I still can't get over the fact that she's asking for their identities to remain a secret when they were the ones that in fact spoke to people. Loves, if you didn't want to be known about it, then don't speak to the media. It's simples. Interesting tweet from DP Brown 1953, and they raise an excellent point. They say that in fact Charlotte Weiss, who was Meghan's friend, doxed 5 private citizens for having a negative opinion against Meghan Markle. So it's okay for Meghan's friends to dox 5 private citizens and get them splashed all over the media, but not her friends that want to speak to the media. The hypocrisy is outstanding even more. I've blurred out the people's faces in this screenshot because I don't want them to feel like I'm having a go at them. In fact, I'm trying to use them as an example to say it's one rule for her and one rule for everybody else, isn't it? These women got doxed. I've got doxed. I've had my name, I've had my address splashed all over social media. In fact, whether or not they've got the right address, who knows? They don't, do they? I could have moved. Have I moved? Have I moved within the last 2 years? Tricky situation, isn't it? But my point still stands. These 5 women were doxed, and she's trying to control the fact that she doesn't want the names out. Why doesn't she want the names out? What's so important about these women? They must have been in the public media anyway, because all of Meghan's friends have been written about. And I'd also like to raise the point that in the documents that were submitted last week, she brought in 4 people that really didn't need to be named, and that was Princess Eugenie, Princess Beatrice, the Duke of Kent and the Duchess of Kent. She brought those names into the court case when she really didn't have to. So it's okay to bring other people in because it suits your needs, yet when it suits the opposition's needs, you're going to fight like hell, aren't you? You're going to really say, no, you can't name them because, well, it might hurt my case. It's not about privacy, not at all. If these women wanted to remain private, they would not have spoken to the magazine. End of. I'm pretty certain that Meghan thought she was going to get a humongous payout from the Mail on Sunday and associated newspapers, but it hasn't happened, and she's literally throwing everything she can to stop it going to trial or to stop the amount of information that could come through this court case. It hasn't happened. They haven't settled. They're going full pelt towards the court case at an alarming rate, and she's getting cold feet. She's wondering, how on earth can I stop this circus even more? Let's try and protect those people that spoke to people and brought up initially the letter. If they hadn't brought up the letter, it would have never been in the public domain, which is why Thomas Markle gave the Mail on Sunday that letter. But will this work? Will the court or the High Court grant her and her 5 friends the immunity that she needs? Another possible theory is that one of the friends is in fact Jessica Mulrooney, and she's Markled her, hasn't she? So she doesn't want that name to be brought up because, again, can of worms, open up, spill out. And there lies the skeletons, all bare for us to see, that have been hiding in the cupboard. Word on the street is that Jessica herself has been writing an in-depth diary and could possibly be bringing out a book of its contents. That will be quite explosive, I do believe. There's another theory as well that one of the friends is Meghan herself. That would be quite embarrassing if her own name gets brought up as one of the 5 people that spoke to people. My last word on this is that narcissists always get angry. When they are backed into a corner and they feel that they're losing, they will hurl everything in all their might that they can to try and go down fighting. And they get angry. And when a narcissist is angry, you don't want to be anywhere near them. So I would love to know what your thoughts are on this new filing within the court. Do you think she has a right to protect those 5 friends? Who are those 5 friends? I really want to know, and I'm sorry, that's gossip mongering. But they spoke to people. It's open season, I'm afraid. Who are they? Do they have a right to their identity to be protected? And do you think this injunction will be granted? As always, I would love to know your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.